Hello everyone, I am Radius Warriors, aka Silva today, back here in another amazing reaction. This time we're back with another Gigguk video, Spring Anime 2025 in a nutshell. We got a lot of anime this spring, basically this year, and we're slowly approaching to summer. So I'm surprised it took him kind of this long to drop this video like this. But hey, this man probably is busy, so I can't really complain. But yeah, which anime are you checking out right now that during this spring, summerish time? Let me know in the comments down below. But I'm not gonna keep y'all waiting. If you still like any of this content, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Like, comment, and subscribe to Gigguk. I will leave the original link to this video down below so watch it uninterrupted. Link to my Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. You can follow me on those social platforms. Link to my Cashapp. Feel gracious enough to donate whatever you want to donate. It's fine. Don't. That's fine as well. So then super thanks. But by donating, like, comment, subscribe, sharing, all the good stuff. However you show your support, it lets me know you rock with the reaction content, rock with the channel, and rock with your boy. But further ado, buckle up and let's get started. Alright, we here with another Gigguk video. Spring Anime 2025 in a nutshell. I cannot wait to get into this because there's a lot of anime been coming out ever since basically the end of Solo Leveling Season 2. So, all I say is buckle up and here we go.
This spring is either going to go down in history as one of the most exciting seasons of anime in a long time, or will be forgotten in the annals of time as the season of lost potential. Normally when you look at the anime coming out, you see stuff like high-profile, critically acclaimed Shonen Jump adaptation, probably going to slap, sequel to another highly beloved anime. Yeah, this one's going to be popular. Yet, this spring we are largely heading into the unknown. New anime originals from fresh and also decorated creators of the past, franchise reboots, spin-offs, new unproven IPs that could be a classic or die on a whimper. So screw the memes today because we've got a lot to get through. Hit that intro.
1, 2, 3.
Yes, it's spring 2025, and you know what that means? That's right, it's been one entire year since spring 2024. Oh, you already knew that? Well, how about this then? It's also been almost one entire year since the launch of today's sponsor, the award-winning sci-fi open-world action RPG, Wuthering Waves. That's right, that big one. And who doesn't love women in suits? And Kona, a foot...
You know what? You got a point there. But, look, I'm not being advertised, you know, W advertisement, but I'm not being advertised, so I can't.
Stay tuned for updates. Thanks again to Wuthering Waves for sponsoring us today, and with that said, back to spring anime.
Oh my.
クジライさん、肩。
ごめんごめん。
もっといろいろ気にしてくださいよ。
Hello?
工藤君って年上に可愛がられるタイプよね。
Smash! Smash. Smash. Yeah. Let's go with that.
Hi, Dad? I think I'm pregnant. In a move of pure...
And very cool my dad to say stuff like that. He's probably, what the f going on, boy?
Respect, we have Kowloon Generic Romance, having the goal to put generic in its title, giving a bad name to the shit we see every season that actually deserve that title.
Damn.
A romance series set in Hong Kong's infamous Kowloon walled city, capturing the era of 80s and 90s golden age so perfectly. While an angel from Evangelion just floating above them watching their every move, don't worry about it. Every single goddamn frame of this show oozes atmosphere, transporting you back to a time you yearn to relive again, even if you never even lived it in the first place. This series is vibes. Watching this gives you the same feeling of listening to some random city pop playlist that YouTube recommended to you at 2 AM and getting nostalgic for an era you weren't even around for. We finally have a romance, not in high school, not with some immature kids. There's a sci-fi mystery aspect that leads me to believe there's more going on behind the scenes, and you know what? This isn't even the only anime this season with immaculate vibes. Cause what could be more immaculate than the end of humanity itself? Damn, that got dark. Yes, it's another anime original coming from Cygames Pictures, and I think I've learned to have a soft spot for cheerful, comfy stories set in a desolate, post-apocalyptic world, because at this point, maybe the idea of the world coming to an end is more comfy than it seems. But also, there's just something about combining upbeat stories with this air of melancholy that I can't help but gravitate towards every time, like a moth flying towards my next existential flame. If, like me, you've been looking for a show that reignites those feelings you got from watching Girls' Last Tour, give this one a go.
See, there's nothing wrong watching stuff like that either way, because there are some people that say they prefer the typical mainstream shonen and everything. I would say this: what changed that perspective for me, ironically, is Your Lie in April, and the point that I was like focused on some majority on the mainstream, but a little dabble with the little slice of life here and there. But the thing is, what changed that all for me was Your Lie in April. Again, you seen a grown man cry in his 20s at the time when I first watched it, like tears.
This is the Nintendo Store announcement. We regret to inform you that there is only one Nintendo Switch 2 left, and it will be selling on a first-come, first-served basis. Thank you for your understanding.
Oh, jumping!
We got just a handful of sequels this season, like more Windbreaker,
Nice,
boy
yes.
shows about boys being boys doing boy things like fighting, punching each other, forming manly brotherhoods with each other. Why are all the girls watching this? Shoshimin is continuing, Aharen along with Sentai
Yay!
Daikaku. Hopefully this season can capitalize on its premise and not drag us through another 7 episodes of exams we don't care about. Fire Force is entering its final season. I never finished the first one, but every so often I'll come across a clip that makes me want to pick it back up. But
You
that's
should.
if the later seasons don't take me out of some of the insane action scenes it's capable of by shoving a boatload of Tamaki's ass in my face every time I'm just slightly immersed. And that's a big if.
Hey, a little bit of fan service don't hurt nobody. Y'all can quote me on that.
Oh my god, is that Sea Dog VA? Oh my god, is that Sea Dog VA? Oh my god, is that Sea Dog VA? This one just came out of nowhere. We got another remake of a classic manga from the creator of Detective Conan this time, which I'd never heard of before. But god damn if this didn't turn out to be some of the best animation on offer this season.
Yeah, I need to check
Studio
that out.
Wit continue to prove they are just the master chef with everything they touch, because this is on a whole nother level for remakes of old school anime, even with some of the great ones we've had recently. My Hero Academia is also here with a darker, grittier spin-off series that has so far impressed me as much as the mainline show. It's interesting to see a street-level perspective of the Hero Academia world, following
Someone put it in perspective that when it comes to this, the main character, I guess, in a few of them, is the everyday man, in a way. Like, he does not want to be a #1 hero. He did at first, but he realized this is what he actually wants. An everyday man like the main character can be a hero, but in his own way.
characters who don't have flashy city-leveling powers still find a way to take down these supervillains. You got your friendly neighborhood Sliderman, some idol wannabe whose quirk is to bounce. Crazy stuff. And the most powerful hero of all.
Knuckle Duster.
Yes, there's the guy whose only quirk is the 2 massive balls he wakes up with every morning to take on these supervillains without having any powers. It's Only Man's.
The Only Man's.
So, did you hear about what's going on? Not really, I don't follow the news. So yeah, well, America's putting up tariffs. Yeah, on who? Canada and Mexico. I was wrong. It's every country. It's only 10% though. Minimum. But they're gonna wait 90 days. Except China's getting a special tariff. It's 104%. Wait, no, that was a lie. It's 245%. It's always nice to see a light-hearted comedy be one of the most hyped-up series this season. Coming from the author of Sket Dance, we have Witch Watch. But with which watch do we watch which watch with? I don't know where I'm going with this. Girl comes back from witch school and has to choose her familiar, a being that will permanently become her manslave, protecting her, serving her, listening to her every whim. If this was an isekai, we'd call this slavery in cursive, and she's chosen her childhood friend. But, unfortunately for him, this is the person he's serving.
Oh, God. Oh, yeah, I did watch the first episode of this. Oh, wow.
Yep, she's one of those. This is the type of girl who would stare at a bottle of orange juice because it said concentrate. But it's the chemistry between the 2 leads that makes these opening episodes work so well.
Yeah, it does.
For the 5 of you that still remember Aho Girl, this is that with more magic and less domestic violence. Lazarus.
Less domestic violence. I still remember Aho Girl. And the point is, she did all this because she did like, man, for some reason, like bananas. No. The girl's dumb. Like, dumb. Like, a rock is more smarter than her.
If there was one show I was excited for before the season started, this one was my pick. It's some dystopian future where all of humanity has got addicted to some miracle drug because it's easily accessible and affordable with no apparent drawbacks except for one. That's revealed by the drug's creator, Dr. Skinner, that anyone who's taken the drug will die approximately 3 years after they first take it. The world falls into chaos, panic ensues, and the Dow Jones drops to the lowest it's ever been in years.
Damn.
Oh, you wacky sci-fi story.
これがアメリカンジョークです
And so a ragtag team is formed to catch him in what looks to be an old-school action sci-fi. You got Shinichiro Watanabe, Cowboy Bebop, Samurai Champloo, one of the most goated directors this medium has seen, and you pair him with Chad Stahelski, John Wick's Chad Stahelski, for the action choreography with Studio Mappa bringing their best, and this should be a recipe for success. Visually, it's absolutely top dollar, the music is bebop-esque with a modern twist, the world looks so vibrant and alive with an early 2000s vibe we haven't seen for so long. On paper and with the names behind it, this is a show I really want to like. But
I knew the butt was coming. Come on, tell me the bad news.
No, guys. Something just feels off.
Well, we're here to save the world.
What are we? Some kind of Suicide Squad?
We're like the Avengers or something.
Oh shit, guys, I was bloody joking. The writing is trying so hard to be cool. Really hard. Maybe a bit too hard, because it sometimes reaches awkward sounding dialogue or even Marvel level quips. It never quite reaches the natural charm and chemistry when you watch something like Cowboy Bebop. I mean, just take the main character. He's like Spike. He can do everything that Spike does, except with more backflipping. He can fight like Spike, with more backflipping. He can run like Spike, with more backflipping. Motherfucker graduated from the Leon Kennedy School of Necessary Backflipping.
He just flew away. Like a bird that was let out of its cage.
Did the bird do a flip on the way out? I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt now because it's still doing so many other things right. It's early days, so we'll know soon if it'll fall flat on its face or will it fly away like a bird backflipping out of its cage. On this episode of What in the Actual Goon, an anime where a girl can loop back in time every time she takes off her underwear. Now,
Cool. What? Repeat that? No. I must not have heard that correctly.
Leon Kennedy School of Necessary Many other things right. It's early days, so we'll know soon if it'll fall flat on its face or will it fly away like a bird backflipping out of its cage. On this episode of What in the Actual Goon, an anime where a girl can loop back in time every time she takes off her underwear. Now,
so I did hear that correctly. What the fuck? Again, when I said nothing wrong with a little fan service, but I admit there's tone it down.
I'm no stranger to anime logic. I can get behind degeneracy. I can get behind wacky concepts. But you're telling me a silent classroom full of people is not going to notice a guy standing up in eye shot of everyone and walking over to the most popular girl in class only to get on his knees and play around with her underwear while she violently moans.
Please tone it down with the fan service. Again, nothing wrong with a little fan service, but this to make a whole show. Again, this is not the first time they did that. They made a lot of shows that are just nothing but fan service. As we know with interspecies reviews and the anime show about thighs, which I was joking at first about that too, until I got told that it exists. Yeah.
I couldn't get a cough in class without getting a snarky comment from the teacher. Meanwhile, bro is up there putting his foot halfway up the stairway to heaven, and not a single person is pointing this out. Oh, Gigguk, it's just a dumb ecchi show. Why are you overthinking this? No, this is still a story based on rules we have to abide by. I can't suspend my disbelief to this. My dick would never forgive me again. We may be degenerates. Yeah. We may watch shows that appeal to the lowest common denominator, but that doesn't mean we can't goon with standard. Wait, hold on. Crunchyroll actually have the uncensored version on their site? Wait, hold on a second.
Here's your bill. $4.16, pervert.
No! Gigguk, don't tell me you... Okay. Alright.
Oh, isn't she pervert? Pervert! What do you call it, pervert?
It's written on the bill.
You know what? Forget degenerates, isekai, or fantasy fans. You know who's eating real good this season? Slice of life fans. We got Eurocamp, except they become fat fucks because this food looks delicious. There's Eurocamp funded by the Yamanashi Prefecture, coming from the author of... There's some anime girl who finds an expensive hobby traveling around Japan in what I can assume is the most elaborate tax write-off for the mangaka making it. Wait a minute, this is just Abroad in Japan, adorable blue-haired anime girl edition. A ninja and an assassin under one roof. For a deadpan ayaya comedy, this somehow has way better animation than most traditional action shows this season. You know, this spring we just have so much to pick from, and yet even out of all these, there is one anime that I think has more potential above all others. And it isn't even technically an anime. To Be Hero X is the latest
Yes!
series coming from China, and holy hell did they come here to play. It's been a while since I've been so genuinely awestruck at the production values of an animated series. Okay, that's actually a lie. Since Arcane recently shattered that bar before it, but I did not think it would be so soon till I saw something that could even compete, and To Be Hero X is getting pretty damn close. We got China's version of Tiger and Bunny with a world of hyper-commercialized superheroes. Yes, as you can tell, this looks very similar to Arcane to the point where I had to double check it wasn't by the same studio. But they are just completely flexing by switching up styles on a whim, with multiple animation studios working on this, giving potential for some of the coolest animated sequences I've seen in a very long time. 3D, 2D, all of it blends together in a way that hasn't been attempted since... ever. This could be as much of a stylistic choice as it is a narrative one, and if the trailers are of any indication, there is even more switch-ups to come. This is not an anthology of stories. This feels like an anthology of animation, and a celebration of everything kick-ass.
Yeah, you're right.
This isn't technically an anime, but as an anime fan, nothing is getting me more pumped this season than To Be Hero X.
Now, this is what I've been waiting for, this one.
Hey yo, watching the crack? Okay guys, remember last time when I freaked out trying to convince you guys that idol anime and band anime are totally different things? Well, I think I finally realized the massive difference that makes these two genres totally unique. You see, I like this music. It feels like we've entered a new era of band anime, since there seems to be at least one great one coming out every season, and this one looks to be joining the best of them. Music aside, what could be more fun than a bunch of upty pret school or jaw summers politely speaking to each other in uppercase before shredding it on the guitar and getting really, really, really concerningly wet while doing so as a
Concerningly, yes. Yes, very much so concerned.
of their totally platonic friendship. No Hoyoverse. This was just a bloody fun show, and I don't know how they could make it any better. Oh! The bird! And she's flying out of the cage! Oh my god, when's she gonna do a backflip? I don't know what bloody horse Uma Musume fans sacrificed to the gacha gods, but this franchise has now somehow become one of the must-watch sports anime. For those unaware, you come in thinking of watching a cash grab of some gacha game adaptation, and then they will drop a scene like this. Cygames is one of the few companies that have used their exorbitant gacha earnings for good, with their studio pumping out the highest quality adaptations for all their IPs, while also funding exciting anime originals like Apocalypse Hotel. Congratulations, Uma Musume players. You are no longer filthy gacha gamers like the rest of us. Be proud. You have ascended to investors. Oh! New season of Mushoku Tensei coming in! Wait, hold on a second.
Okay.
The hell? The beginning after the end. Now, this is a webtoon anime.
Which, to clarify, yes, it is. I've actually been reading it, like, for quite some time, like, way over a year now.
The story that I've been told rivals Mushoku Tensei's, and, well, the only thing coming close to an end is my hope that this is going to get a good adaptation. You know, I got a feel for the beginning after the end fans. If this is the final product they waited for, I can only imagine the first draft of the screenplay went something along the lines of...
In the beginning,
Now, what I wouldn't mind seeing being an anime adaptation, and which is called Mercenary Enrollment. If y'all read the first 10 chapters, it's going to blow your mind. And quote, like I said, it's called Mercenary Enrollment. It's a webtoon manhwa, so check it out. If that's anything that need that, and My Wife is the Demi Queen, check that out as well.
in the beginning, yeah. the beginning. Yeah.
I'm gonna say I was about to say something because at the end of the day, I get that it's his parents, but a certain part of the chapters, when he told him technically he was spoiler warning what I'm about to say, and by the time this part get animated, probably 2 years from now. But anyway, when he told them, his parents, that he's a reincarnated, they lost their mind. He's like, oh, so you just replaced my baby. So no, that's not how that works. But at the same time, they somewhat said that in a way you're not their child. I'm like, ooh, that's kind of bad.
Beginning.
Well, now that Gur is graduating, there's got to be some way to get weebs into baseball, and what better way than a cute, smug anime girl who will tease you at every baseball game? I'm suddenly uninterested. I know baseball is Japan's pastime and all, but I'm more of a football guy myself.
Oh!
Yeah, this one wasn't great. And then we get to Old Country Bumpkin to Master Swordsman. Another fantasy anime, except the main character is an older guy now. Look, at least anime is self-aware enough now to know that the audience that grew up watching Sword Art Online 12 years ago are now no longer teenagers. But do they think we're so cheap, so unchanged from our younger selves that we'd fall for the same power fantasy show, except this time they just aged up the protagonist to be this really chill and mature guy who's actually super modest and trying to get by in life, unaware how powerful he is, but still never overestimating himself, preaching respect and self-improvement, humbling cocky teenagers who end up admiring him and listening to him, not because he has aura, but because he has wisdom and life experience, and fuck, I really like this one. But hey, we're not that old yet, guys, we're still hip with the kids. Hey, look guys, chicken jockey!
Harass this one.
Keeping on theme with the amount of nostalgic shows, we got an anime that looks like it jumped right out of late 2000s visual novel adaptation. Yes, if you couldn't tell, this is Key. Yes, if you couldn't tell, this is Jun Maeda. Yes, if you couldn't tell, it's probably going to tear your heart to shreds, but the real question is, how is it going to stack up against— Birds! They got birds! But wait, where's the cage they're escaping from? Not even a single backflip? I changed my mind, guys. This is probably going to be ass. Next up, Gundam GQX.
なんて読むんだ
Turn A Gundam.
Gigguk?
G-Quacks.
Gigguk?
Gigguk?
Gundam?
グク X
Yeah, let's go with that. Now, this is the highest profile new Gundam series to be released in a while, and while I've seen my fair share of Gundams, my editor, who is an OG Gundam fan and far better equipped to talk about this than me, has given me his statement he would like me to read on whether you should be watching this or not. From a true Gundam fan. Mobile Suit Gundam G-Quacks is a collaborative production from Sunrise and Studio Kara. The project marks the first credited work Hideaki Anno has contributed to the franchise since Char's counterattack in 1980.
Oh my god! It's got girls! Cute girls!
Set in an alternative Universal Century timeline, G-Quacks presents a scenario in which Char Aznavour joins the Xeon raid on Side 7 in 0079. A setting like this runs the risk of alienating new fans in the same way UC itself does, but also for the UC purists that don't like the change. They're playing the guitar together. Look at that, that's so cute. Oh god, they're adorable. I actually feel as though in diverging so heavily from the original story, it may make it easier for new fans to pick up without prior context. And as for myself, I'm thoroughly enjoying G-Quacks, but I do find myself having many issues with most of the mechanical designs as they— And now they're sleeping with each other. This is peak anime right here. We've done it, guys. We've exhausted all other isekai ideas that there's only one place left it can possibly go.
Space!
Remember when I said the amount of isekai that start by death from Overworld was getting a little depressing? Well, how about this? We got another overworked salaryman. Okay, nothing new to see here, but this time he has a family and he finds out his wife is cheating on him. But wait, that's not all. Turns out his daughter is not actually his real daughter, and if his day wasn't bad enough already, he gets framed for embezzling money from his company. His wife tells him he's pathetic, his daughter tells him she doesn't love him, gets fired, divorced, loses custody, is forced to pay child support and the 50 million yen he got framed for embezzling, and then—
Damn!
And then, after all this, he gets cancer!
That was all in the first episode, by the way. Yeah, I had watched. I'm like, dude. I'm like, give my guy a break. Like, shit.
Oh man, we didn't know how good we had it when Truckun was about. What's the name of this anime? Can a boy-girl friendship survive?
The fuck?
No.
This one's an interesting concept. On her 17th birthday, an apprentice witch gets told she is cursed and has a year left to live. That is, unless she is able to collect 1,000 tears of joy from people, which will not only save her life, but also grant her immortality. And so she goes on a personal journey to help strangers and bring some genuine happiness to people's lives. Damn, isn't this nice? Isn't this a feel-good series? No. Small brain. Amateur shit. Let's break this down.
Damn.
You need to average at least 2.7 tears per day or you are going to die. That is multiple tears per day. Going around solving random people's problems is probably the dumbest fucking thing you can do in this situation. Think, girl, think. You can mainly focus on just one person at a time. Each problem can take maybe days or even more to solve, and at the end of it all, you don't even have a guaranteed success rate if the fucker doesn't want to cry.
For
So,
real.
here's how a pro does it. Step 1. Get an apartment right next to a hospital. Extra points for a hospital that specializes in life-saving surgeries or delivering newborns. This will give you a way to passively farm that shit when you got nothing going on. Step 2. Become a wedding officiant. Weddings are just prime farming spots for people crying out of tears of joy, and being an officiant means you only have to commit an hour while possibly hitting up multiple weddings a day. Even if it's not the most emotional wedding, you should have at least an 80% success rate on the bride, groom, and their parents. But if that still sounds like too much work, don't worry. We have the nuclear option. Are you ready? Attend one single Taylor Swift concert and you will reach your cap in a single song with tears to spare, I swear to God. You will be thanking white women for the rest of the immortal life you will now live. But no, ooh, make this grandma cry. So happy. And finally, coming from the king of trashy romance anime is the Shiunji family children. From the same mind that gave us Rent-A-Girlfriend, this is an anime that's a harem romance series about a dude and his 4 stepsisters, 1 blood sister, and a younger brother. And I'm sure hearing this summary, you may laugh, you may snicker to yourself, but I am here in awe, witnessing a man of true talent. Because a project like this is one of pure dedication and determination from a person with something to prove. We can all learn something from Shiunji family. It is infinitely harder to create than to judge. But if you're gonna do something, if you're gonna do anything, what's the point of doing it if you're not going to try to be the best? Even if you're the best at being the worst. If one man's trash is another man's treasure, then this man can turn a trash can into a fully operational waste disposal center. Because even if you think you've reached your full potential, be that person who can dig deep and know they have more to give. Who can look at his work on Rent-A-Girlfriend and say, no, we must go lower. Who can look at the amount of sisters in Domestic Girlfriend and say, nay, we must go higher. 1 sister, 2 sisters, how about 5 and a younger brother, because we are not in the end game yet. There is always a higher summit to climb. So, just remember, family always comes first.
Oh God.
Just as long as you don't come in family.
Hey! Go home and be a family man. I was wondering where he was going with this, but...
Hey guys!
Alright, I think that's it. He's gonna do a Patreon shout-out. Yeah, I know the drill. But... that last one, I think I'm just gonna avoid. Yeah. Now, I have watched Domestic Girlfriend and read it. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. The rest of the crap, yeah, it's pretty bad. Yeah. But anyway, I hope y'all enjoy this as much as I did. And which anime for this season of this seasonal are y'all looking forward to watching or currently are watching? Let me know in the comments down below. But that being said, if you like any of this content, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Like, comment, and subscribe to Gigguk. I will leave the original link to this video down below, so watch out and interrupt. Until next time, please take care of yourself. Stay hydrated, stay safe, stay warm. Peace out.
And little questions is everything they know about you.